Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well on this Tuesday. So, in today's English lesson, we are going to go over the 12 vocabulary words. I'm going to read the definition, probably give you a scenario in which it could be used, maybe provide a sentence. And if you want, you can do your vocabulary study guide as I go through this. It might be a little bit too quick, but maybe you can write down the definitions as I go over them and then later fill in the antonyms and synonyms, stuff like that. So this can be found, hang on, I want to go back though. This can be found at Quizlet. There'll be a link in Google Classroom. And when you get to the top of the page, it's actually not that helpful. So you see some flashcards. That might be helpful, but if you keep scrolling down, like I said in the other video, this is where the good stuff is because, or at least it'll help you. It'll have the definition and it will have the actual word. So let's just go down through these. I will make this. Yeah, you don't need to see me, right? Something like this. Might be too dark to read though. How about this? Something like that. So the first word right there is native and having been born in a particular place. So this time of year, I just saw a sign yesterday, so it's fresh on my mind. There was a sign saying fresh native corn. And that just means corn that was grown in Maine. If you go to like Lewiston and you go to the outskirts where the farms are, maybe in Auburn, like near Wallingford's, love to eat their donuts in the fall. I don't usually go there for apples. I go there for donuts. But native, it means like born in a certain place or grown, like the corn. But so I was not born in Maine. I was actually born in Vermont. So I only spent 6 months there though. But I feel like a native Mainer, having been born there. All right, the next one, emphasizing. Emphasizing means drawing attention to. And if you remember in Max Swings to the Fences, one big problem he had about wearing a hat is that he thought they emphasized his ears. They drew attention to his ears. So you can see in the picture there, somebody is using a highlighter to emphasize those words. Just means draw attention to. Maybe you have a teacher that wants to emphasize a certain point, like, hey, you need to do your homework tonight. It's a big grade, something. They're putting an emphasis on their words. They're emphasizing the fact that homework is due tomorrow. Luckily, this is not due tomorrow. It's due Friday. So you got some time. The next one, probably should have my glasses on for this, but reverence. Reverence. Deep respect for someone or something. And you can see maybe those people are bowing. So if you have reverence for something, it means you have a very deep respect for it. So one of the times that I see this most commonly is with like religion. Like if somebody is religious, they might have a lot of reverence for their religion. Whatever building they walk into, church, synagogue, mosque, there's a lot of maybe they remove their shoes as a sign of respect, but deep, deep reverence, like almost like way more than you might have for normal people. Maybe somebody who's passed away, you would show some reverence to or some reverence for, but yeah, deep, deep, deep respect. Then next one, make it a little bigger, orthodontia. Orthodontia. Probably know this one. You probably commonly hear orthodontist, right? Someone who works with teeth. Anytime you see that word orthodontia, orthodontist, think of teeth. The next one, noncommittal. Big word there, noncommittal. If you commit to something, like you put all of your time into it. So there are a lot of people that have committed to a fall sport. It might be soccer, field hockey, football, cross country. You commit your time. Non-committal is an adjective to describe, and Max Swings to the Fences, he gives a non-committal answer. So it's not a yes, it's not a no, just kind of leaves it out there without actually answering it, without actually committing to an answer. Non-committal. Hopefully that makes sense. And of course, anytime you have a question, shoot the hand up or get with me after the video ends. And the next one, love this one. We actually, didn't mean to do that. Love this one. Self-deprecating. See, that means making fun of yourself, putting yourself down, usually funny. Yeah. And as I mentioned many times in class, well, a couple times in class, I often will make fun of, I almost did it earlier in this video where it's like, I like to eat the donuts. I almost like patted my stomach. Yeah, self-deprecating. You make fun of yourself. It's a good way to just like, if you make fun of yourself, like who cares if somebody else does? Like you've already done it first. So you're aware, I'm aware that I'm losing my hair, unfortunately. Of course, I wish I wasn't. But it is what it is. I'm aware that I'm getting more wrinkles every day. Self-deprecating, making fun of yourself. The next one is mimed. So to tell a story by body movements, you can see right there, picture of someone who actually is a mime. So that's the noun. That person is a mime, but mimed is a verb. And in Max Swings for the Fences, he mimes like a forehand to show people that he played tennis. So telling a story, body movements, don't have to use words to mime something. Hopefully that helps. Going rather quickly here. Next one. I'll move it up. Hard one to say, I think. Solemnly. Solemnly. This is a serious manner. It's often sad. Solemnly. So, for example, when you look solemnly up in the thesaurus, you might have to take the ly off and just make the word like the base word, solemn. I can think of a couple times when you should probably be solemn. Again, religion. So very serious. Doesn't have to be sad, but it often is. But you can go into, when you go into that house of worship, if you do, you go in there respectfully, you go in there with reverence, but you might do it solemnly too. Very serious. Man, we just had September 11th come around on Sunday. Today I don't like to think about. Man, I was scrolling through TikTok and it was like every other TikTok was of 9/11. So I'm like, I'll stay off TikTok for today. But yeah, solemn. It was a solemn reminder of what happened. What was it, 21 years ago on that day? So yeah, serious, often sad. Funerals are often a solemn occasion. All right, let's make this bigger. Accosted. Or when you look it up in the thesaurus, you might have to just put a cost. But I don't know. I don't have my glasses on. I don't know what the definition says, but it should say something like rush up to somebody, want something from them. I often think about celebrities getting out of a limo. I think that was my example. I used this one. The celebrity was accosted as soon as she stepped out of the limo. People trying to snap pictures, all that kind of stuff. Remember, Max was accosted when everyone found out that Bo was his real dad. Yeah. So anytime people are just wanting to like clamor is another one. Clamor to try to get to someone for some reason. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. Accosted. It's a good word to know. Maybe the best word to know here, I use this quite a bit. Plausible. It just sounds a little bit better than maybe possible, but it is likely to happen. I feel a sneeze coming on. Hang on. Excuse me. Ooh, that was a big one. All right. What were we doing? Plausible. Yeah, so it's possible. How about, tonight? I was looking at the weather forecast. Tonight, it's plausible that it will rain. I use plausible quite a bit when talking about something that could happen in a story we're reading. And that's why people like math better sometimes than English. Like the author doesn't give us all of the details. We just have to assume some things. We have to inference some things. So some things are plausible. They are likely to happen. They could happen. Plausible. Inert. Love this one. I think I used this in class on Friday with a couple classes that I would probably be inert on the couch at some point that night. And if you look at the definition, it's just not active, sluggish. And this does come from science. There are some gases, I guess, that are inert. There isn't a lot of activity with those gases. Inert. After football practice, after soccer practice, you might be inert for a little while, maybe until you eat something, or maybe for the rest of the night, you are inert. And the last one, contorted. Let's make this bigger. Contorted, twisted, bent out of shape. If you look at that picture, that person, I can make it bigger. That person looks to be possibly a contortionist. It actually looks like there's a person on the bottom there. Never noticed that. But yeah, that person is twisted up like a pretzel, a contortionist. So you can't remember what it was in Max, but we do have some really tall students on this team this year. And maybe you have to kind of contort yourself to fit into the desks that are made for like average size people. Some of you are so tall. All right. That is all of those words. We went kind of quickly, but hopefully it helps. I mean, if you really want to rewatch this, you can. Other than that, please take some time and finish up those vocabulary sheets. Try to have them done by Friday. All right.